10/8. It feels like I haven't been on here for a year. Please like, share, and subscribe. You're doing me a big favor. Hey, D. Hey, enjoy the space. Really didn't have time to set anything up. Doing all my pre-op crap. As you guys know, I just put up a, hey Jinx. I just put up a notification for the live with Detective Cox. Detective Cox is the lead detective in the Stevenson case in Boone County, Kentucky. That's recently become a buzz, and that's good. So I really don't care what the reason is or why it's a buzz. It's good that attention's being brought to that case. Every case, for that matter. But because apparently there was some speculation that there could have been a tie to Delphi. We now know otherwise. I don't need to go into it. You guys have seen enough on all of this, but Detective Cox is a good guy. There's no place he won't go. There's nothing he won't do to solve his cases. He leaves no stone unturned, no tip unfollowed. He's a good guy, and he's dedicated. So I'm excited to talk to him. We can all learn a lot from him. He's going to discuss another case that he has that he's getting close to breaking. I don't know if he's disclosed that yet. I haven't seen all his interviews. I know he's been on like a media tour, which is awesome. I'm glad that he's getting out there and getting these cases in the limelight. It's excellent. Yeah, kid, check the rhyme. I'm sorry, dude. You're probably stoned and this is tripping you out. I hope you didn't eat mushrooms. Hey, Miss Thing. Lakeside Justice, how are you? Rory, my man. Tina. Hail, the gang's all here. But I just wanted to go through a few things with you guys. I've got this. I'm going to be out of commission, maybe. I'm going to do this thing on Friday. So I'll be fine, but the way I want to handle the next couple cases, I'm doing this interview with Detective Cox because of all the hoopla that's been going around about that case and the tie to Delphi and all that stuff. But I've got Tanner Barton. I'm doing that case next, and I'm going to see that one all the way through. Unless something major comes up, I may break in and do something here or there. But hi Cleo. But I'm dedicated to the Tanner Barton case right after this interview. Now, what I want to do is to show you guys the process that I go through for this stuff. Calling to the counties, calling to the different facilities, calling different divisions, offices, talking to secretaries, talking to planners, talking to people that are in charge of records, in charge of FOIA requests. I'm going to record that stuff and I'm going to do it live so you guys can see the process, and I'll actually have the camera on some of the documentation that I'm doing and filling out. And I'm working with a young lady named Sam, who is fantastic. You guys are going to love her. And you guys are going to hear her, and you're going to see what she's doing as well. So without her, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. So we collaborate well. We have the same accent, so we understand each other. But you guys will be able to see what I do and how I do it, the whole step of the whole way. So if something goes wrong, you'll see what I do to fix that. To make the phone call, write the letter, send the email, whatever it takes, to get what I need to get. And if you guys haven't heard of Tanner Barton, I feel like I can speak English. Tanner Barton. I feel like I know him already. It breaks my heart. It does. It's a travesty, what happened to him, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I want to find out who, what, where, when, how, and why. Things didn't just happen. It just doesn't pop up. Okay, there was a series of events, and I don't think some of the people were being honest I don't know how much I can do, but I'm sure we're going to make a bunch of people uncomfortable and wish that they told me the truth. So we'll see where we go from there. So after we get done with Tanner, and I want to, like I said, we'll go through the whole process of how I do things and follow along. But then I want to present his case to you guys. So you won't just see the polished thing like you see, when people do these awesome videos. I'm not really good at production. This is as good as it gets, to be honest with you. But I'm not good at polished things. So before I present it, I just want to show you guys what goes into it, so you know what I do. Now, as soon as I finish with Tanner Barton, which I'll never finish in here, once I've started it and looked at it, I'll never forget Tanner, ever. But I'm going to pick up the case for Angie Barlow. She's a young lady from Indiana as well, that was murdered, and nobody's really followed up on that either. And it's oh, there's a space sound. I'm sorry. Let me fix that. Let me fix that. Not seeing it. Let's see why it's doing it. Yeah, that's no good, is it? There we go. That should be better. Do I need to do I need to start all over? Was it that bad? I can handle it. Lakeside. I just had the right shoulder done December 22nd. And shit, I was with another group doing live stream, but I was doing a live stream like 2 days later. But I'll get it. If I can't, we'll always wish that I could, right? Detective Cox is no stranger to this stuff, so he can do it. I'll just sit here and giggle and drool. And if it comes to that, I'll drink beer as well. Might as well, right? Screw it. Lauren Sparrow from Bloomington sometime. Yeah, Miss Thing, I want to start putting some together. But I want to leave myself time, because you guys are going to see what it takes with this case. You guys will see what goes into it. So you see how, I'm dedicated to it, and I get devoted to a case, and it just envelops me. I can't do it half-assed. I'm not doing anybody any justice to do that. It consumes me for a while. So I want to, give every case its due. But then we also have these major cases that everybody's interested in. So in between them, I want to give a little bit of attention to those. But I will definitely, the Pillars of Creation. It looks pretty damn cool, doesn't it? But I'll definitely look at that Miss Thing, though. There's so many. Is Bloomington in Indiana as well? Indiana's freaking crazy, man. I don't know why you people live there. Their laws are crazy. Is it hypnotizing you, Cleo? I really don't have. I didn't really load anything up for the background or anything like that. Well, let's try this. If that one's freaking you out. How's that one? That's a different space. Oh, so she's Bloomington already is also Bloomington is also in Indiana. Good Lord, it's crazy. What is going on in Indiana? What the hell? I thought Florida was bad. side. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I've already been through it once, and I'm here to tell you, without getting too into my medical history, I've had a bunch of rotator cuff surgeries and shoulder surgeries in the past, and they were freaking awful. Rehab was awful, miserable for 6 months, and then it started getting a little bit better, and it took a long time. It took about a year total. This, I mean, I just got this shoulder replaced in December. I mean, and it feels fantastic. So I'll take these surgeries any day. I'd rather have none, but I'll take these any day. And this surgery center is really cool. I'm sure some of you out there are in the medical field. But the way they do it, when you get there, a nurse is assigned to you. And she preps me, does everything. Does the IV and all that. The anesthesiologist comes over and starts doping me up. That's my buddy. Then she takes me down to surgery, and then she's also the recovery nurse. So you get familiar. You have the same person through the whole process, and all the way until I go to the recovery room, where I got to stay the night. So it's the same person, which I think is pretty cool. Other surgeries I have, it's like the Three Stooges. You get coming in and out, and grabbing you and touching you and poking you. It's not so much. The music's too loud again. Oh, how's that? Sorry, I switched, so I got another space sound. I am stuck on stupid. I have the IQ of a retarded clam, I swear to God. But I don't have the sound on because I don't want to get an echo, so I apologize. So did you guys catch all that? Was that aggravating? I'm sorry. I apologize. Is that better, by the way? Yeah, my accent. I sound like a retard. What up, Coach Kev? Oh, look at that space thing. That's nice, huh? Sweet. But just real quick, before I get into Tanner's case, all right, now, unless something big comes up during Delphi, I just wanted to reiterate where I stand on Delphi. I know it's not something everybody agrees with, and that's okay. We're all adults. We can agree without name calling and thinking bad of each other and all of that. So, and just what happened with them putting Tony Klein on the witness list for Keegan's case, that is just posturing. That is leverage tactics. Because think about it. Tony's going to have to testify. They subpoena him. He has to go. He has no choice. Now, I'm curious whether or not he's been deposed, and if he did have a deposition, did he lawyer up for that? We haven't heard anything about that, so I'm not sure that he has been deposed. But you got to keep in mind they've already talked to Keegan, and that's already written down. Now Keegan has all that. That's part of discovery, and he is going to get whatever the deposition is of Tony, so he's going to know that as well. But there's already detectives in his ear telling him your dad's going to screw you. Because what choices does Tony have in this? Either Tony implicates himself, or he sells Keegan down the river. So one of the two things. So if he sells Keegan out, detectives are already in Keegan's ear telling him, your dad's going to sell you out. So that's the only thing that's saving Tony from being arrested and being implicated in this is Keegan. Not mention anything about his dad, not telling on his dad. As a matter of fact, he's already said that the cops are going to have to do their job and figure out that if my dad's involved or not. But if Tony Klein is actor number 2 on the Anthony Shots account, if he's the second person on that account, he's now implicated in not only the murders, because it was used the day of the murders talking to Libby, but for the CSAM stuff. So he's getting a double whammy. He's getting whacked. So mark my words on that. And I know some people aren't going to agree with that, and that's fine. I don't care. I mean, we can disagree. I mean, I don't mean I don't care about you. It just we can disagree, and I'm not going to get upset. I'm fine with that. But also, somehow, some way, I haven't got it nailed down yet. I don't even have a theory. Ron Logan he has to be involved. He has to be. Has to be. Um, I know a lot of people don't like that either. I'm not saying he's all the way involved. I'm not saying he participated, but he's in there somewhere. He's in that fold somewhere. Just don't have enough information yet. But just law enforcement logic. Let's just put it out there like that. Other things sound good, and a lot of them make sense, and people put a lot of thought in this. But I don't know. Just this is my spidey sense, and like I said, we could be adults. We can disagree, and I don't mind at all, at all. But that's what I'm looking at. So I think that a we got Keegan, we got Tony, we got Texler, the cousin, and Richard Allen, and somewhere in there, Ron Logan. I'm not saying these are all participants, but they're all familiar with what happened. They all know what happened. There's no doubt about it. Plus, that CSAM stuff is huge, 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 huge. But yeah, Kev, they're using that for leverage. Why would they put Tony on the list? Why would they want to talk to Tony? That's just for leverage against Keegan. Now he's already working deals. His attorney even said that he's looking at alternative legal actions. So yeah, there is a good group of people on here. Absolutely. So in a nutshell, okay, Richard Allen, bridge guy, right? And this is my opinion now. If you disagree with it, that's fine. You can even notify me that you disagree, but you'll never change my mind. Law enforcement can change my mind, or more information can change my mind, but I don't think anybody else can. And I'm not going to try and change anybody's mind either. But Richard Allen is bridge guy. They wanted to kidnap the girls, and there's other players. I believe the other players are Tony Klein and to some extent Ron Logan. Keegan is not a player as far as involvement, but he definitely knew what happened, and I believe he was even in a vehicle on 300 that day at some point. So we'll find out. We'll find out, but that just makes the most sense to me, especially with all this posturing and all this shit that's going on legally. Richard Allen has not waived his right to a speedy trial yet. Why? Why? That's crazy. So he's just postponing it, So that tells you he's not innocent. He's guilty of something. So he's trying to drag it out so that they can have the bond hearing so he can see what the state has. Because he knows what they took out of his house. He knows what was on the PCA. He doesn't know anything else. Law enforcement, now they got to do the discovery there as well. So they have to find out what their angles are. And I'm telling you, they're going to be scrambling, guys. They're going to be scrambling. You got Keegan, you got Tony, and you've got Richard Allen. The three of them, only one of them is going to get the sweetheart deal. The other two are going to get screwed. So they're going to use that. They're going to tell them, you roll now, and we'll give you the good deal. If you wait and somebody beats you, you're screwed, But I've seen this stuff happen. This isn't me just, watching TV or anything like that. So I know how this shit works, His roommate in Vegas, Lakeside, I don't think he may know. He may have told him what's going on. LG and AW. Maybe. Maybe. See, that's the stuff we don't know, Miss Thing. And like I said, I'm just going with my law enforcement experience and the fuzzies. I'm getting the fuzzies with it. It's just like, man, this just makes too much sense. And not just, if you look at it on the surface, maybe I could see how some people would think, well, there's something wrong with you, man. But I also know what law enforcement's up to by what they're doing and what they're not doing. I know what they're up to. So it makes perfect sense if you understand the tactics that they use and what they're going through to get this done. I mean, if you look at this Stevenson stuff, right, the recent stuff, um, we've all heard from Detective Cox, right? What have we heard from Delphi about this? And allegedly, it was a connection to Delphi. Yeah, you might be right, Kev. He's a real quiet guy. But it depends, man. It depends. They threaten him with enough time, and he should get every second of it if he's guilty. And I am not the judge, jury, and executioner on this. I am not putting these guys in jail already. We have due process. I'm just telling you, think like law enforcement. This is what makes the most sense, and I think that that's what's going to happen in the end. It's the only outcome that I can see right now. And there's a lot. You guys know there's a lot of theories out there. There's a ton of them. And I look at all of them. Some of them I just laugh. It's like, what, are you kidding me? But some of them say, wow, they put some thought into that. Yeah, that could happen. But it's just a little bit, I'm not going to say outlandish, but it's a stretch. Some of them are good theories, but it's a stretch without more evidence. In other words, they're fabricating evidence to make it work, you know. Whereas I'm not fabricating anything. It's just the natural flow of this is going to come that way because we know for a fact that there's two people using that Anthony Shots account. We know that. We know that, and we know when they knew about the Anthony Shots account and how they went about dealing with Keegan Klein and the Wabash River search and Keegan going on his field trips and all that stuff. It's just it's there. It's there. It all fits. And this is, if you go back to like my first couple videos, I've been saying this since then. But now, and we haven't got any real new evidence. I still feel the same. But now watching the posturing, the legal process has just made me think, yeah, that's because I am a critical thinker and I have an open mind and I can change. Something comes up that'll change my mind, I'll change it. But and it's only been reinforcing it since my first couple videos. That's all I harped on was that there's no boogeyman, there's no monster under the bed. These are real assholes that live in your neighborhood. Thinking RA was messing around online a lot. Inadvertently stumbled upon a crime that day. We'll see, this thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure of this. He did not park by that CPS building to walk all the way to the south end of the bridge and to grab these two girls with the intention of walking them all the way back to the CPS building, past all those people and down 300 and all that. No, that wasn't going to happen. There was something else that was going on. So, I mean, there's more to this, but you haven't heard anything else. Why? Because Keegan's in jail and he's not going anywhere. They've already arrested Trexler and talked to him and got everything they need to get out of him. Now they just need Keegan to roll on his dad. That's why they put his dad on that witness list. So they can make it look like his dad's gonna rat him out and sell him down the river. It's amazing. It's amazing what these people are capable of falling for. Any one of us would be like, yeah, whatever, put him on the list. Fuck off. Are you still here? Why are you talking to me? Go away. But not Keegan. No siree. He's not that type of person. I could tell by his body language and stuff just from his interviews with TV and stuff like that. And his pictures as well. You can tell by his pictures. He's just not that type. He's worried and He's fragile right now. Mentally, he's fragile. He's had enough time to sit in jail, and he's fragile. Jail sucks. It's not hard. It's a vacation for some people, but it sucks being in there. You have no freedom. You have no freedom. That's why law enforcement is the hardest job in the world, because a 21-year-old kid has more power than the President of the United States. The President of the United States cannot come to my house and take my freedom. But a 21-year-old cop, first day on the job, can do so, can take my freedom. So that's what sucks. That's what people love about this country. Love about this country. We're free. We can do what we want when we want. Now, if you fuck up and get in trouble, you got to pay the consequences. But other than that, we're a free country. So that's it. I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. I just want to let you know what's going on before I have this surgery. I just feel like I haven't been on for a while. Last time I was on was when I was on with Kev. I would like to do another one with Kev. Do you think Prosecutor Nick McClellan is equipped to bring out the truth? I'm not feeling too confident. Well, and here's the thing, Mama Bear. What makes you say that? What do we know about Nick McClellan? What do we know about him that's making? I can't judge him either way. I'm not for him. I'm not against him. I don't know anything about him. What up, James? How are you, sir? I don't know anything about him. I haven't even looked at him, to be honest with you. I don't even know who the lead detective is on this case. I haven't even gotten that far with it yet. I'm still pretty new to it. But there's just so much shit that I can spot. I can't tell you what the good stuff is. I can't tell you what's honest and what's not, because there's just so much shit going around that it's, I mean, some people, I think they start YouTube channels just to amaze themselves at what they can get away with, you know? So, yeah, that's going to be a good interview, Kev. That's going to be a real good interview. I've talked to him a few times. He's a good guy. So, Mama Bear, if you could tell me, I don't know if you're still here or not, but if you could tell me why you're asking that, what makes you think he can't handle it? And I'm not questioning you. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm just saying that there's got to be a reason for you to ask that. I haven't seen or heard anything good or bad about him. Well, anything that's credible. There's people out there calling him Slick Nick and name calling. Really? That's what we're down to. We're gonna call this guy names. That's how we're gonna get this fixed. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But as far as I'm concerned, he hasn't done anything wrong yet. We don't know what he's doing. And as far as him asking for money, everybody went ape shit over that. Okay, they record all of those county commission meetings. They record all of them. So that's not unusual. It's not like somebody snuck a fucking camera in there. They record all of them. They do that constantly. With a county like that, you have to talk to the county commissioners. The sheriff has to go in there and basically beg every year for a budget. In the county where I worked, the sheriff finally said, fuck it. You can have the jail. Gave the jail to the county. Sheriff's office doesn't even run the jail anymore. They've got it going out to civilians now. But private contractors, which is crazy. But that's what they want to do. And here's who it hurts the most. It hurts the road guys the most, because what the sheriff could do is he had a budget for the road and for the jail. Well, he could rob from Peter to pay Paul. If they need another cruiser on the road, he could take that out of the jail budget. But hi, Susie Q, what makes you say that? And you just don't like me. I've seen you around. Anything I say, I can tell you the sky's blue and you'll argue with me. But that's okay. That's okay. It's like I said, we're adults here. We can disagree without name calling and stuff. But he's so slimy. I don't even know what that means. What do you mean by that? And give me a break. What do you mean by give me a break? 'Cause I'll give you a break. You can come on the live with me if you want to. I don't mind that at all. And I'm not setting you up. I would never do that. I wouldn't treat you badly. But I would like to. Hey, Don, how are you? Hey, I'd like to give you a chance to air your grievance about Mr. Nick and everything else that I say. You obviously don't agree with anything that I say. That's okay. But Susie Q, the offer's out there. If you want to come on the live, hit me up. Ruckus Rocks TPC at gmail.com. Shoot me a email, and I will absolutely bring you on and let you say what you want to say. We'll discuss it as adults. But just coming in here and saying, "Oh, he slimed me, give me a break," I'm surprised I even entertained that. To be honest with you, it's not worth my time. But we'll find out about. Now, here's one thing I do question. Okay, Shane, going from mayor to assistant prosecutor. I mean, that's the good old boy there. There's no doubt about that. Good old boy is. Thank you, criminally focused. Appreciate it. The good old boy's system's alive and well. I mean, I found that out between Delphi and Flora. I'm figuring out now. Usually, the good old boy system, I've always defended it because I've been on both sides of it. Usually, a good old boy system is you get a good shift, or you work for the sergeant you want to work for and stuff like that. You get the days off that you want. Not covering up a murder. I mean, it would have to be huge. Huge. There's so many people involved for cover up. It would have to be huge. But you guys all know that Flora doesn't sit well with me. Delphi doesn't sit well with me. But I'm coming around to Delphi just because of what I just talked about the way shit's starting to pan out. Kid, you don't like Nick either? It's so, my God, it's so disrespectful to call these people names. It honestly is. If we were all together in a room in person and he was there, I guarantee you folks wouldn't be saying any of this. None, zero, because it's the internet. And I don't like to use the word keyboard warriors, but that most people can relate to what I mean by that. You say things you normally wouldn't say, I guess. Shane Evans knows that the voice in the BG video and Mullins and Ives. Ives kind of. Oh, you shy, Susie? Okay. Okay, that's fine. You can still email me, though, and we can discuss it. I just can't give you can't give you all my attention right now. And I have a feeling that's what it's going to take. But I also don't think you're shy. I've seen you. I've seen you around. I've seen you commenting. You don't look too shy to me. But Jinx Ives, that guy pisses me off. He resigns, and then he dumps all this information about the crime scene and stuff like that. He resigned. It's crazy. Yeah, me too, kid. Me too. But we need him. Necessary evil. They really are. They're a necessary evil. We didn't have prosecutors. How would we do it? Lynch mob? We can't do that. We can't do that. The judicial system's awesome in this country, whether you agree with it or not. Jinx, I don't like the way he handled himself with that whole thing. But yeah, that's right. Humanimal. That's a cool name. Took me a second to figure that out. Humanimal. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't like the way Ives handled himself with that. To resign and then drop all that information. I'm sure the lead detective's not too happy with it at all. And here's another thing too. You guys do know this. I don't want to spoil it too much for Friday, but that whole tie between the Stevenson case in Boone County, Kentucky, and the Delphi. There was never a POI. There was never a specific item. There was never any of that. And I made the mistake of going on somebody else's fucking channel and making that comment. But just like that there never has been and never was a connection confirmed because I had already talked to Detective Cox. I'd already spoke to him. And the creator went off on me. I deleted my comment. I was like, fuck it, it's not even worth it, you know. But all this stuff gets bent out of shape, you know. That case was never tied to Delphi ever, ever. And there was no item and there was no POI, none of that. I do not blame Detective Cox one bit, for getting his information out on that case. I don't blame him at all. I think he's doing a great job, and we'll get, like I said, we'll get to talk to him Friday, get it straight from the horse's mouth. And then after I speak to him, I'm going to have Alex Voorhees on. Me and Alex have been talking. So I'm going to get him on. So we'll have the detective, and then we will have the tipster, because Alex Voorhees is definitely the one that tipped that in. So I'll explain all that to you guys and show you why that sometimes, you know, I should probably explain myself more before I make comments on other people's things, but I'm not trying to be a prick. I'm just trying to tell them, listen, that's not it. Nothing to see here, folks. It's nothing, you know, move along. But I just need to mind my own damn business and just do my own channel, I guess. I've just been floating around looking at other shit so long, I think I can still do it. But now that I have a channel, I'm told to fuck off. They told me to go back to my crappy, that I feel bad because I have a crappy channel. So there you go. Name calling. Name calling, right to it. But I would love to get Ives on. That would be awesome. If I could get him, but I know I can't. I've already talked enough shit about his way of doing things. Fort Pitbulls, what's up? Yeah, Fort Pitbulls. You and I have been round and round before. But we're adults, you know. I don't like when people just go straight to the name calling or default, right? There takes no chain of thought, none whatsoever, to default to law enforcement's incompetent or they're corrupt. And too many people, I think, default to that. And, you know, use some critical thinking. Law enforcement's not losing any sleep because you're upset because they won't release information. They can't. There's people in that sheriff's office that don't know what's going on because they don't have a need to know. Is Ives in Florida for Pitbulls? Because I live in Florida. Wouldn't that be a hoot? Wouldn't that be great if I could find out where he's at? Bump into him at a Walmart or something. That would be fantastic. I would love to talk to him. I have questions about Flora and about Delphi. Got questions about both of them. Now, and this is just my opinion again. It doesn't mean anything. I don't think that law enforcement did a great job in Delphi right out the chute. But God, I mean, they're not used to that. Alex Voorhees said it the best. He said it's like, 9/11 happened in a small town. You're just not ready for something like that. It's too big. They didn't know what to do, you know? Yeah, I'm sure Ives is covered under the gag order. That wouldn't stop me from asking, though, Lakeside, you know? Yeah, I agree, James. I mean, you can have a knockdown, drag out argument and still do it eloquently. But once it gets to the point where you want to fight and call names and all that, I mean, that's time to hit the trail. Joe the Toe. Joe the Toe. So, Coach Kev, what do you think about doing another live on Flora? I've learned some more stuff about it. It'll probably be like a month because I've got one other case that I want to throw in there. I'm gonna do with Kid and with Criminal. I'm gonna do 2 lives with them on the same case. They're studying it, I'm studying it, and then we're just gonna talk unscripted, like I did with Kev and like I did with Kid before, and like I'm gonna do with Cox. Me and Cox haven't discussed what we're gonna talk about. You guys saw the text. Hey, when I call you, I'm gonna be live. 10-4. So Hey, that's interesting. I like lurkers. When lurkers finally do talk, man, they got something to say. They've been building up, building up, building up. Yeah, coach. And if you ever want me to come on yours, let me know. I'll definitely come on yours as well. I'm a big draw, dude. I'm a huge draw. They found out I'm coming on your show. You'll have tens of viewers coming over there to watch. Was half decent procedural management. Mr. Allen spoke to someone. A humanimal, and this is just law enforcement in me talking. I don't think he spoke to anybody. I don't think Richard Allen talked to a conservation officer. I honestly don't. And I'm going to tell you why. A few reasons why. That in 2019 when they did that presser, and they said they didn't just have one little blurb about it. No, we are looking for anybody who knows who the driver of that vehicle was that was parked at the CPS building on that day, yada, 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 yada. Richard Allen didn't come forward, did he? He didn't come forward and say, hey, that was me. I've already told you guys that was me. Move on to somebody else. That was me, and I didn't do it. No, he didn't come forward with that. No conservation officer came forward and say, yeah, I talked to that guy. And did you guys talk to him yet? Yeah, no, absolutely not. And when they said that they misfiled it, that an FBI civilian did, the FBI went apeshit and came right out and said, no, that's not right. That never happened. My opinion is that they're using that to deflect away from Keegan Kline rolling. I don't think Keegan Kline knew who Richard Allen was. He probably only knew a screen name. But and again, back on my first videos, you can see how I get to that. You know, I rolled into that instead of just jumping on it. I rolled. It took some time, but the Wabash River. They finished doing that. Next, you know, they're up Richard Allen's ass. The rest of the stuff I understand. When they took the shit from his house, it took a little time to arrest him because shit had to be tested, whether it be them testing that round, which is bullshit, and you guys all know that. Everybody that's on the kick about evidence and stuff, please don't worry about it too much because there's just enough to get him arrested, and there was plenty there to get a probable cause for arrest. That bullet's not going to get them anywhere. That's not going to get them anywhere. It's like I said, you know, you have direct evidence where if you like on CCTV, right, and you're caught, you busted, you did it. That's direct evidence. If you drop your license or if they find your license next to a dead body, that doesn't look good, but it doesn't mean you did it. So they find this bullet near the girls. That doesn't look good, but it doesn't mean that he did it, you know. So his attorneys can get him out of that pretty easy. So we just don't know what they found at the house. We don't know if they have DNA. We don't know any of that. None of that. But they're pretty confident, aren't they? They're pretty confident that he's Bridge Guy and he is the cause of these girls' death. And by kidnapping them, he knew that by kidnapping them that they were going to be killed. No way around that. The wording's there. The charges are there. That's what law enforcement believes. Could they be wrong? Yes. But do I believe them over everybody else? Yes. Absolutely. Question, Ruckus. Muddy Bloody Man was seen walking along the road to the CPS building. Why didn't we hear the road was closed? CSI was on their hands and knees searching for evidence. Great question. That's a great question. But when did there's been all kinds of shit swirling around that too. The woman who was that witness, right? There's shit going around that she had some legal troubles and she didn't tell them about this until afterwards. So I'm not even sure when that got reported. It might have been too late though. Miss Haunted. I want to know if they seen him on the camera for the Hoosier Harvest Store. Was he on that camera? And if not, why wasn't he on that camera? And where did she see him on 300? We know he's on the north side of 300. So as you're facing north, he's on the left side. So it's not a very wide road. So if somebody saw somebody, I would believe them if they said he looked muddy and bloody, because they're not more than like 10 feet away from you. And that road, you don't drive fast on it. Hey, the speed limit is 35. Nobody cares about that, but it's not a very good road. So I don't think she's doing 100 miles an hour or anything like that. I hate to say, I think they're wrong on Allen being bridge guy. I think Mullen messed it up bad. We'll find out. To me, for pit bulls, I mean, that's Richard Allen just looking at it. And, you know, I'm not going to lie. The fact that law enforcement says it is him, then that really puts it over the edge for me. But you can't definitively say that it's not him. You know, you can't. And if law enforcement says it is, we haven't seen that tape. We've seen what they want us to see. So we haven't seen that tape. He gets even closer to the girls. You realize that. And they film him all the way, 43 seconds worth. So, I mean, the trip from where he was on the bridge. Hi, Vanessa. Frank, what's up? From where he was started being filmed on the bridge to get to the girls is now 43 seconds. So we don't know what they have. We don't know what they have at all. And law enforcement is not about to tell anybody about it. Because there is, and I don't know if you guys realize this or not, there's fucking loonies out there, man. There's people that'll call and confess and say that they did it when they didn't. It happens all the time. That's why they keep all this shit close to the vest, because it's only shit that the killer would know, you know? And there's a difference between staging and signature. There's a difference between that. Signature, serial killers usually use signatures, but they're very easily identifiable. And serial killers want credit for their work. That's why they do that. They don't want anybody to think anybody else did it but them. They want credit for what they did. Staging, although it's not common, it happens with people that don't know the person that they're killing. That it just happened. Danny Rollins. There's a bunch of cases like that where they stage them, and for no reason, none whatsoever. Just whack jobs, psychopaths, you know. But that's all I got, guys. I just want to touch base on Delphi and let you guys know what I'm up to. I'm going to be spending a lot of time working on a case, and you guys can see what it takes. And if you don't like watching that, there is a shitload of interesting channels out there that will keep you entertained, I'm quite sure. But if anything big comes up, you know, I'll brush up on this other stuff. But any of you guys, Ruckus Rocks, TPC@gmail.com. If you email me, I'll definitely correspond with you. Absolutely. And I'll answer every single one. But until then, I hope to see you guys Friday at 1 when I'm talking to Detective Cox. And at that point, I'll let you guys know when I'm going to have Alex Voorhees on. Now, I'm having him on. He's been talking to a lot of people, too. I don't want to talk about the shit that he's talking about already. He's the one that tipped this in, so I want to go over that. And plus, that guy's interested in his shit. He does a whole bunch of other stuff. He's already helped me with a few things. He's pretty good, man. Pretty good. That guy's smart. Smart kid. And I'm going to make sure he gets his props, too, for putting that tip in for Cox and getting this whole thing rolling. He single-handedly brought that case, the Stevenson case, back into the limelight. I give him mad props for that. Good job. Job, Alex. But until that time, I will see you guys later. I hope Susie Q didn't leave in a huff. I mean, I don't want her to not like me, but I also want to tell the truth. I'm trapped. I'm caught in a trap. But I will catch you guys later. Have a great day. Don't take any wooden nickels. name is Ruckus. I am 10-7. Sounds good, Miss Thing. Bend it on. Please like.